Learn to thread your Serger ProFinish serger in under 3 minutes. It's way easier than it looks, I promise. Okay, first things first, make sure that thread guide is raised and that your presser foot is in an upright position. Great. Next step, you're going to make sure that all your tension dials are at 0. It just makes things a lot easier. Perfect. Now we can focus on threads. You're going to want to place your thread cones on these stabilizers. All you're going to do is thread it through these loops, always from back to front, like I'm doing in this video. You're going to go ahead and do that with all 4 threads, and then just leave the thread hanging there for the next step. All right, now this part is extremely important. Whenever you're threading your serger, you need to start with the upper looper, which is this red color here, or the second thread if you're looking from right to left. You already have your thread on the stabilizer and through the loop, so now you just need to guide it down these thread guides all the way to the bottom until you get to the inside of the machine. Now, this can look a little scary or intimidating. I promise it's not. It's super simple. You've got this. So as soon as you open up the machine, you'll see these little hooks here. You can't forget to hook the thread there, but you'll also see this diagram or image. So right now we're using upper looper, which is red. So you're simply going to look at the diagram and pass the thread through each hook that is marked in red in the same order that is shown in the diagram. And just to be sure, I'm going to show you one more time. This is the diagram. You can see our red thread, and then these hooks that are marked in red is exactly where it is passing through. And eventually you're going to run out of hooks, and that's where you're going to see your upper looper. And all you're going to want to do is front to back. You're going to want to pass your thread through that small hole. And just to be extremely clear, I added this image. Remember, we're working with the red thread, and just pass it through. It can be a tiny bit tricky, but I use these tweezers and it makes it a lot easier. Great job. You're ready to move on to your next thread. In this case, it's going to be the yellow one or your first thread from the right. And same story. You're going to guide your thread through. Make sure you don't miss this hook. And you're going to look at the diagram. I will say this is the most important thread and probably the most complicated. So here are some tips. First of all, you're going to want to make sure you can see all the hooks. Here's a diagram up close. I had one that was kind of hidden, so I had to move it around a bit to make sure I could see every single one. All right, and this is why I say it's the most complicated one. Once you've passed your thread through all the hooks, you need to find a way for the thread to hook on a hook that's all the way in the back of the lower looper. What I do is grab the thread on either side like this, and then I push it to the back, and there's a tiny hook there, and I can feel that it's hooked. So once that I feel it's secure, I just guide my thread through the tiny hole there. Again, I use my tweezers to make it a little easier, and I pull it to the back. Congratulations, you made it this far, and what's left is super easy. The hard part is over. We've successfully threaded upper looper, which is red, lower looper, which is yellow. All we have left is green and blue, which are the 2 threads that go through these 2 needles here. Let's start with the green one. I'm going to go ahead and pass my thread through the thread guides, tension, and these hooks here. And same situation, they're really just color-coded. It's pretty intuitive. If you run out of hooks, you're going to see a little spring, as I call it, a spring-like fixture. And just make sure your thread passes through there before you thread your needle, as always, front to back. And go ahead and pull that thread towards the back with the other 2 that you have sitting there. And you're going to do the exact same thing with the blue thread. Go through the hooks and then go ahead and thread your needle. Never forget to go back and set your desired tension on the dials. And once you've done that, congratulations, you successfully threaded your serger and you're ready to use it. If you made it this far, please like and follow. I'm a bilingual content creator, and this is how I gauge how helpful my videos are. Thank you.